Hello guys and welcome back to our fifth and final episode of our introduction to Swift code using Swift Playgrounds. If you haven't checked out our other videos in this series yet, I would highly recommend doing that first. I'll pop a little link in the top right of this video that you can just click on and then come back to this when you're ready. But if you're up to speed and you're ready to go, do remember to click the subscribe button so you're ready for our next series in a few weeks, and why not leave us a like if you found this useful. But without further delay, on to the final guide. So far, we've looked at issuing simple commands, creating a function, and also learning how to loop our processes to achieve more complex results using patterns and repetition. Today, however, we're going to look at conditional code and planning for the unexpected. Conditional code is something that is around us all of the time in our day-to-day lives. We have lights that turn on if they detect movement, mobile devices that ring, ping and vibrate if they need to grab our attention, and even cars that can suggest diversions if they find a faster or more efficient route. The key word in all of these situations is if. Put simply, we're coding our programs to react to external prompts. If this happens, then do something about it. If the sensor detects movement, turn on the security light. If the phone receives a message, alert the user. If the light is green, walk across the road. To write an if statement, use if and add your condition, which can be true or false. We'll get to that later. We then add the if block, which is just the commands that run if that condition is true. We can even add an else function to tell the program what to do if that condition is false. So these are the basics. Let's take a look at it in action. Okay, here we are then. So this is our final puzzle, and as always, we've got gems, we've got switches to toggle, and the first thing that I'm always doing is looking around for patterns. And actually, there is one here, even though it's not as obvious as it may seem. I've got a central column down the middle here with switches and with gems, and every time there's a gem on the central column, I have to go right and collect the gem off to the side. Every time there's a closed switch, I have to go left and grab the gem that's just to the left there. It's the same further along, and actually this column could go on for miles and miles and miles, and I can still solve it using some simple code. Let's take a look at that now then. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to build myself a function, and I'm going to call this solve right. I'm going to solve anything that I need to grab on the right hand side of this central column. So I'm going to grab the gem when I get to it, I'm going to turn right, and then I'm going to go off down the steps, 1, 2, 3, and grab the gem that's there. So once I've sorted out the commands to get to the gem on the right hand side, I do need to turn around here and get myself back up to my starting position at the first gem, ready to move along the column. Okay, I think that should do it. That should take me off to the right hand side and help me collect gems on the right. Next up, I need to teach Lil Blue how to go to the left from this column when he gets to a closed switch. So I'm going to call this second function solve left, and I'm going to toggle the switch when I get to it, turn left, and grab the gem. Both of these functions I've put either turn right or turn left, just to make sure that when I get back to my central path, I'm always pointing the right way along the path. And always remember, any code that's put into a function is not a command, it's just a function. My code actually consists of nothing at the moment, So what I'm going to do is I'm going to build in an if statement. If Little Blue is on a gem, I want him to solve the right-hand side because all of the gems lead down the stairs to a secondary gem on the right. However, if he's not, if he's on a closed switch, I'm going to use an else if. So if he's on a closed switch, I want him to solve the left-hand side. Alright, so that's what he's going to do when he gets there. I need to make sure that I put in a move forward command each time. So he moves and then he checks the contents of each tile. So let's do that. Move forward. And also, he's not only going to do this once. I could copy and paste it loads of times, but actually, to be more efficient, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to use a skill that we've learned previously. I'm going to use a for loop. So, 5 times for 5 independent instances, he's going to do all of this. I'm just going to grab this curly bracket and drag it down to grab all of that code inside. And actually, all of this here is my entire code to solve the entire puzzle. That's all I need, just a couple of lines. Once I've taught Little Blue how to do my function for the right-hand side and the left-hand side, that's it. In these few lines here, we should have the whole thing solved. So, fingers crossed, let's run the code and see how we do. Now in class this could be done really nicely in teams, possibly having a team working on the right hand side function and another team working on how to solve the left hand side, and maybe some children just working on how to put that for loop together for the central column. Well, it looks like we're on the road to success here with Lil Blue. I hope you've really enjoyed this series. We've really just only scratched the surface of what's possible with Swift code. You can continue this this lesson looking at things like logical operators and while loops, and there's many more activities out there provided by Apple and other creators as well on the Swift Playgrounds library. I would really encourage you to check it out. Thanks so much for coming along with us on this journey with Swift. We really appreciate your support and we really hope that you have success with this in class.